Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarty. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we are. Welcome, folks. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Put your comments below, and thank you for liking and sharing. I really appreciate it. We just made it over the 400 sub mark, so thank you very much for sharing and spreading the good word. Now, this is our 17th episode, so I think we're going to kick it off with a Q post. There was a Q post today, several. We're going to go over just one of them, okay? And this is, all right, September 16th, 4722, all right? And you've probably seen this, very interesting. Add it all up. Number 1, virus. Number 2, riots, organized. Antifa in brackets. Fires. The why. And then there's a link to a YouTube video showing an interview with a gentleman named Darren Beatty. And he talks about this character. His name is Norm Izan. And he was an Obama appointee. And curiously, he wrote a book called The Playbook, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here. It's a book about the color revolutions over in Eastern Europe that's been happening, where they don't go in with tanks. It's not an invasion. It's you know what Q always says. It's not an invasion. What is it? You tell me. Okay, so what they do is they get the people there, they bring some people in and they train them, and they riot, and they use lawfare to, have these riots and protests to have like a fake uprising to topple the government, which is what they're trying here. But they've never come up with someone as smart as Donald J. Trump. So it's just not working. Well, so the rest of this, it goes on. Make no mistake, they will not concede on election night. We know that because Hillary Clinton said under no circumstances should Biden concede. Now, why would she say that? They're showing their hand. It's really quite funny. Make no mistake, they will contest this legally in battleground states. Yes, they will. Okay? Make no mistake, they will project doubt in the election results. Of course, they're already projecting doubt. Make no mistake, they will organize massive riots and attempt anarchy-99 design, playbook known. Q. Playbook known. The playbook is known, and the guy I mentioned that was in the video linked to this post, Norman Izan, wrote the book called The Playbook, which is how to do these color revolutions, which is what's happening with Antifa and BLM. Some of them have, of course, trained with ISIS over in Syria and probably other places too. All the same people, and I'm sure Soros is in there somewhere, and all of the dirty players. So it's all known. But trust the plan. The Patriots have countermeasures in place. So that's where that is. And now I want to get into another thing that happened. I believe it was The Independent had an article about possible signs of life on Venus. Yes, not Mars, Venus. Okay, Venus is our sister planet. It's almost the same size. It's covered with clouds. And for a long time, we wondered what's beneath the clouds. And scientists always said, well, it's really hot. They had their climate got too warm, and they even used that to scare us, to try to scare us into this climate thing. Oh, it could happen to us too. Well, possibly. But they found a rare toxic gas that they found on Venus, phosphine. Now, phosphine And they found it in great amounts, like vast amounts. And they're thinking this is a hint that there might be life there on Venus, even though it's tremendously hot and the atmospheric pressure on the surface of Venus is very close to the pressure in the deepest oceans. So it's crushing. In fact, Russia sent 2 probes there in 1975, 1976, and they were crushed by the atmospheric pressure just hours after landing. They did snap some shots, and we'll show those here of those shots. Now, but since they have mapped the surface, we're going to look at some of those pictures too. But this phosphane is a foul-smelling gas. It smells like rotting fish or penguin dung, which is the 2 kind of places where it's formed on Earth naturally. It also can be formed industrially, but naturally it forms those 2 ways, and also by anaerobic organisms, including bacteria and microbes. So it could be microbial life. And they're thinking, 35 feet above the ground in the atmosphere, it might be advantageous for certain types of life to be there. Although now there are some leaks from the secret space program that say we have a cloud city there. It might be 35 miles. Maybe we're pumping that stuff out. Who knows? Or maybe it is some kind of natural life. A lot of people also cite Venus as the possible first place for human life in the solar system. The ancient builder race allegedly may have been there before they brought life to these other planets, Mars and Maldek and Earth. Maldek, of course, being the asteroid belt that is now not a planet anymore. It's blown up. So that's very interesting. Phosphine in the atmosphere of Venus, yes. And now Venus, they did a mapping of the entire planet, almost the entire planet. There's one picture I want to show you. It shows a blurred out area. Now, I'm not sure if that's just because there was not enough data to fill that area in, or if they're hiding something. It could very well be they're hiding something, because some people did a 3D map of the information and they put it all together and they came up with these very curious shapes that look very non-natural. They look like former dwellings or some kind of buildings. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Venus has always captured my imagination. Even when I was a kid, I used to think, oh, our sister planet. There's probably people there. According to Goode, Goode was brought there to Venus by the Inner Earth people, Ka'ari, and he said that when they went down towards the surface, they went underneath a holographic image of the surface to these buildings, these vast, beautiful buildings that were very old but very futuristic looking. And they went inside, and there was this, he talked about this big like video pillar of all these mathematical equations and things, and he thinks he might have gotten some kind of download. And then one of these beings that allegedly is a holographic version of one of these ancient builder race beings was conversing with Corey, and in the course of their conversations asked, "Would you like to know who you are?" And Corey, for the second time, said, "No, I don't want to know who I am." And so then everything kind of turned off and they had to leave. I think he was probably wishing he would have said, yeah, tell me who I am. Am I Enoch? Who am I? And what would you do? Put your message in the comments below. What would you do if you were asked by a holographic extraterrestrial being, would you like to know your true identity? Maybe some people wouldn't want to know. Now, Corey's a family man, and he didn't, that's his focus, is his family. And he doesn't want to, I guess, confuse that with a past or prior life that he has had. So, now, I want to go back to Q again because this is our 17th episode. And I just want to say that to understand QAnon, for people who don't know QAnon, when a story comes out, when a story breaks, and that's been in the news for years, and all of a sudden it's been proven wrong, that it's not a true story, a lot of us who've been following Q already know that. We already know. We've known for a long time. How do we know? We know because the whole QAnon movement is based on truth. Verifiable truth that you can study and look it up yourself. And that's the power of looking things up yourself and finding out for yourself, because you can show someone something and they might not see it, but if they discover it themselves, then it will register much, much better. And that's why a lot of Q posts are in question form. So, since it's based on real, verifiable things, sometimes some of the things we learn from these Q posts are really hard to believe. They're not only hard to believe, you don't want to believe them, because some of them are very, very horrifying. But whoever said truth will set you free, it's a very true statement. The truth will set you free. It will change your worldview. You'll have to readjust, but there's plenty of other people around to help you in this, this very scary realm of absolute truth. We want full disclosure. We want all the truth, and Q is giving it to us. There's an oath or a mantra that helps us, and that is, where we go one, we go all. We are helping everybody. We're trying to help all of our friends and our relatives to find the truth, to look it up themselves, and to discover what we have discovered, the truth. And once you know the truth, we can go forward, and the world's going to be a great place, okay? Because it's been ruled by some very dark forces. But it's the Great Awakening. Until our friends and family see the truth, we will hold them in our hearts and in our prayers until they can see, and maybe they won't, and that's okay too. It's free will. And Q even says, the choice to know will be yours. Maybe you don't want to know, and that's fine too. But for us that want the truth and are seeking the truth is there. It's just all you have to do is open your eyes and do some searching. Don't use Snopes. Friends don't let friends use Snopes. And a lot of the fact-checking people on the internet are paid by the same people that are running the mainstream media, which are very dark forces. So to find the truth, you have to look to citizen journalists, people who look at the Q posts and decode them. Now, I follow X22 Report. I also follow, by follow I mean I watch the shows and I discern all the information for myself. Also, Red Pill 78 does a great job. Thomas at True Reporting does a great job. Praying Medic does a great job. iPod, in Pursuit of Truth, does a great job. I mean, they're all great, and they all have their own style. And that's the beauty of citizen journalism, is these people, they're not getting paid millions of dollars. They're barely squeaking by because they're getting demonetized by everybody because the cabal controls everything. But we're building our new networks, and look for more of that in the near future. We're all going to be migrating over to these new free speech platforms. Look into Gab and things like that. All right? Where we go one, we go all. It's for everybody. It's all inclusive. The Great Awakening. What can I say? It's a beautiful thing. I've been following it since 2017 when it first came out, when Q first started dropping. Now, people ask, who is Q? Q is less than 10 people. 3 of them are civilians. The rest are military intelligence or retired military intelligence people. And together, and Q plus is, of course, the president, or the president is watching or okaying when it says Q plus. And there's plenty of proofs to prove this. And if you dig down deep, if you're new to Q, just go to some of these places I mentioned: Praying Medic, Red Pill 78, Space Shot 76. They all do a really fantastic job of breaking it down. And you can discern for yourself. And remember, now, these people aren't being paid millions. The people on TV are being paid millions, not to tell you the truth. They're being paid millions to tell you what their bosses want you to hear, which is not necessarily the truth. And most of the time, it is not. Also, there was a UFO sighting in New Jersey. Everybody thought. I saw it and I thought, well, boy, this I'm not going to post this. And a good thing I didn't, because very quickly it was found out that it was the Goodyear blimp. So be careful sharing this stuff. And, it's exciting to see this stuff and you want to share it. But make sure you vet out things and do a little research. A blimp from a distance, especially with that light up panel, can look very futuristic and very much like a spacecraft. But it's just a blimp. The Goodyear blimp. Wouldn't you know it, they're trying to drum up some business after they lost a lot of business. So don't buy Goodyear tires. Still keep boycotting them. And boycott Netflix, because Cuties is a disgrace. They're trying to push pedophilia. Why? Listen to Q. Watch Q. Look at the Q drops. These pedophiles are being exposed. They're trying to normalize it, to try to acclimate the public to this so they aren't punishable. And they're changing laws, like out in California. Disgraceful. Childhood is sacred. Sacred. Childhood is sacred. Anyone who damages a childhood by introducing sex or sexualization should be immediately thrown in jail and given the harshest penalty and never be allowed to be around kids. It's a horrifying thing. Kids are our future. What happens to our kids happens to our future. So it's very, very important to guard kids and to boycott this. Hashtag cancel Netflix. That's all I can say. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Truth Quest. I want you to keep looking up. Keep looking for the stars. And you know what? Full disclosure is right around the corner. Keep looking at the Q posts. Keep positive. And we'll see you next time out on the web. This is Aaron Moriarty signing off. Peace in. Thank you.